and thank you for another episode of the Vito Conenna Sports Show here at the studios of CTV at the Spectrum Building. I want to start off by thanking all my voters and fans for making us an award-winning sports program. I'm very honored and humble and very grateful for this award. It means the world to me, and I'm glad that we did it. We're going to start our program speaking about an exciting story in Serie A. For just the third time in history, Italy has taken at least 6 teams to the quarterfinals of the UEFA European competitions. After 1998 and 99, 6 teams, and in 1990-91, 7 teams. In the Champions League 2022 and 2023 season, Napoli, Milan, and Inter. In the Europa League, we have Juve, Roma, and in the Conference League, Fiorentina. Italy has 3 teams in the Champions League, more than any other European nation. England has 2, Germany has 1, Spain has 1, Portugal has 1, and France has 0. So it's great to see that Serie A is coming back and competing again. Speaking of Serie A, Ibrahimovic becomes the oldest player in Serie A history to score a goal at age 41. And keeping the subject of Ibrahimovic, speaking about him, he has been called up to his native Sweden for the Euro 2024 qualifiers, and so has CR7, Cristiano Ronaldo, for Portugal. In the past 10 years, the best Italian scorers have been Immobile, 191 goals in 306 games, Quagliarella, 302 games, 107 goals, Belotti, 290 games, 106 goals, Berardi, 286 games, 105 goals, Insigne, 299 games and 91 goals. João Pedro, naturalized Italian citizen, 217 games, 71 goals. Destro, in 230 games, scored 71 goals. Gabbiadini, in 261 games, scored 69 gols. Balotelli, in 161 games, 62 goals. And Ciccio Caputo, who's from Altamura Bari, he scored 61 goals in 161 games. Also, FIFA approves a World Cup format for World Cup 2026, 104 games, 48 teams, 12 groups of 4 teams with 3 games being played, 8 maximum games, up from 7. Top 2 teams in each group plus 8 best third place finishes will advance. I want to speak about Thierry Henry, who has turned down the women's France soccer coaching job because he's keen on being named the U.S. men's national team coach. Zidane, his compadre, rejected the job, but Henry really wants it, it seems like. So we'll see how that ends up going. How about applying to lock a spot to play with Clint Dempsey by going to https://synergyathletic.solutions.com. And a quote from Clint Dempsey: "I want Team Dempsey to be a platform for overlooked players to get an opportunity to show what they've got. I'm looking forward to using our tryouts in Atlanta, Houston, and Dallas to find some of the key pieces of my team and to give them a chance to achieve the trajectory of key soccer players." Tryouts are March 26th on a Sunday somewhere in Houston. So this is something right up Dominic's alley. Speaking of Dominic Shortino, he was feeling under the weather, so he's not with us on the set, but he's with us in spirit. Moving along, the Greek freak, Giannis, has joined Nashville SC ownership in the MLS. David Beckham has spoke about a promotion relegation system for U.S. soccer and MLS. We'll see if that takes place. U.S. Soccer is considering Agache Anye to take over as a U.S. Soccer sporting director. Also, keeping with the same subject of U.S. Soccer, Tim Howard's take on U.S. Soccer: "The system doesn't operate in a way that allows for young players to develop. I lived it. I'm a soccer dad. I was raised by a soccer mom. I lived in Europe, so I've seen it all. We don't develop our players at any type of good rate." Coming from Tim Howard. Staying on the subject of U.S. soccer, Freddie Adu, at age 33, is still searching for a soccer club. He has not played since 2021, where he last appeared for a team in Sweden. He was labeled as a teen the American Pele. He has played in France, Turkey, Greece, Brazil, Serbia, Finland, and most recently, as I mentioned, Sweden. He's ready for club trials. Staying on MLS, Diego Almeida becomes the first player in MLS to have at least 4 goals and 4 assists in his team's first 4 matches. I want to speak about Indonesia inviting reigning World Cup champion Argentina for a friendly match in June. They're expected also to have a friendly against Bangladesh and another Asian team. Let's talk about Messi. He won the UEFA Champions League versus Ronaldo. He won the Copa America versus Neymar. He won the World Cup against Mambe. Ronaldo lost only 1 UEFA Champions League final in his career. Neymar lost 1 Copa America in his career, and Mambe lost 1 World Cup final in his career, and they came all courtesy of Mr. Messi, who defeated them. Guardiola and Maradona conquered Italy, Messi conquered Spain, Ugarro conquered England, and CR7, Mr. Ronaldo, conquered Europe. CR7 was named Player of the Month for the month of February of 2023 for the Russian-Saudi League for his team at Al Nassr. Let's talk about Team Italia. We have the Italy jersey up on display as Mike Staten has displayed it from time to time. Team Italia, for the first time ever, there it is, in the WBC, the World Baseball Classic, reached the final 8, but losing to Team Japan 9-3, who is one of the heavy favorites to win this tournament. Let's talk about a sad college basketball story, the passing of Louisville legend Felton Spencer, born in 1968. He was the 6th overall pick in the 1990 NBA draft. Staying on college basketball subject, let's talk about Georgia Tech has named Damon Stoudemire as their new basketball coach. He's the former Celtics assistant coach. Legendary coach Rick Pitino is in the works to be the new St. John's coach. They need him to get back on track. They have not gotten to the NCAA tournament in quite a while, but they can make a deep run with his expertise. He's a legendary coach. Let's stick with basketball, but let's talk about professional with the NBA. Michael Jordan is about to sell the Charlotte Hornets franchise. He paid $180 million for them in 2019. It's now worth $1.77 billion. Sticking with basketball, NBA, Paul Gasol got his NBA jersey retired by the Los Angeles Lakers next to his idol, Kobe Bryant. Want to speak about back to the Italian soccer. Catanzaro has been promoted to Serie B for next season, so that should be interesting. And then the other thing I want to talk about is Aaron Rodgers. The big news in New York is that Aaron Rodgers is rumored to be coming to the New York Giants. The last time that we had a former Green Bay quarterback was Brett Favre. We'll see if Aaron Rodgers can make an impact with the Jets. They haven't gotten to the AFC Championship in a while since Rex Ryan, so I did want to mention that. Let's talk about the Italian soccer team, the national team, which has games coming up March the 21st. They got to play England for Euro qualification. So the 23rd, they got a game, and March 26th, they're visiting Malta. 2 crucial games to start off the campaign and qualification. As we all know, Italy is the reigning European champion. Italy coach Mancini included 3 uncapped players in the 30-man squad as the Euro 2020 champions look to kick off their campaign for qualification. Lecce goalkeeper Falcone, Torino defender Alessandro Buongiorno, and Tigre striker Matteo Retgai were all named to the squad for the first time, bringing Mancini's total number of players called up to Italy to 102. They've been following Retgai in the Argentine league for 2 seasons. He has qualities that they're currently lacking. Mancini, however, faces a headache when it comes to choosing strikers as Immobile is out, while Napoli's Raspadori and Scamacca of West Ham United have lacked playing time. Raspadori is an important player for us, but he doesn't play much. Skamarka is coming from an injury, and he doesn't play much either. The lads can improve only if they play. Skamarka was included in the squad while Raspadori was left out. Italy will host England in the Maradona Stadium in Naples, coming up early this week, March 23rd. Goalkeepers are Donnarumma, Falcone, and Meret, and Provedel. The defenders will be Acerbi, Bonucci, Bongiorno, Di Lorenzo, Di Marco, Romagnoli, Scalavini, Spinazzola, and Tuloi. The midfielders are Barella, Cristante, Fratesi, Jorginho, Pellegrini, Lorenzo Pellegrini, Pessina, Tonali, and Marco Verratti. The attackers will be Domenico Berardi, Chiesa, Gnotto, Grifo, Pafondi, Politano, Redzgai, who we just mentioned, and Skamarka. So we'll see how they do. That's coming up. Also, April 2nd, Napoli faces Milan in a Serie A League match in the 28th round of the Serie A. Then they will meet again, April the 12th, Milan-Napoli in the Champions League, Leg 1. April 18th, a return match, Napoli-Milan. So if you like Napoli and Milan and you want to see them play each other, you'll see them play each other 3 times in April. So that should be pretty interesting. Dominic Shortina, my co-host, has mentioned it's been the year of the underdog, and no understatement to that when we talk about the NCAA tournament. Shockers from FDU, Princeton, Michigan State making a run, also Penn State, Pittsburgh, who's still alive. So we got some interesting matches. Miami, Florida, who's still in there, number 5 rank. Creighton has been a Cinderella story, number 6 rank. So we got some exciting games coming up. Alabama versus San Diego State. Creighton is going to play Princeton. FDU Atlantic is going to play Tennessee. Then we got Michigan State is coming up. They're going to be playing also against Kansas State. Houston is going to play Miami, Florida. Xavier versus Texas. Arkansas versus UConn. Gonzaga versus UCLA. And obviously, we may see a Houston, Texas versus Texas Final Four on one side of the bracket, and that's where the home is. It is in Houston, so it'll be interesting if that does come to plan. But we've been seeing quite a few underdogs, so there's no telling what will happen. Number 1 Kansas is out, number 1 Purdue is out, so there's only 2 number 1s left. That's Alabama and Houston. What else do we want to talk about? We got 15 minutes left on the show. Baseball season is coming up pretty soon. We got NBA almost getting to the playoffs, NHL as well. The Rangers making a deal with Patrick Kane. We'll see if the Rangers could do as well as they did last year in the Stanley Cup playoffs. Obviously, the Nets have dismantled the Big Three. There's no more Kevin Durant and Kyrie Irving. Speaking of Kyrie Irving, he did make a donation for $50,000 to Ghana and Nigeria. He's with Dallas now, and Durant went to Phoenix. Also, we got a lot of exciting sports coming up. As far as before you know it, it'll be Wimbledon, the U.S. Open will be coming up, the Masters in golf, obviously when the NCAA tournament comes to a close. So there's a lot to look forward to when it comes to sports. And then this World Baseball Classic is coming to a close as well. So we'll see if, will Japan get far? We got, some interesting teams that are baseball countries, still around. So that's going to be an interesting final when we get there. And before you know it, we're getting very close to the start of the MLB. So once the World Baseball Classic comes to a halt and it's over, we got MLB to look forward to. So definitely not short on sports. There's quite a bit around, and for any sport, even if you like bowling, there's bowling going on. I remember as a kid watching classics on Channel 7 on Saturdays, and I just bowled recently with the YPN, Young Professionals Network. We had a great bowling matches at Rabs here in Staten Island and Dungan Hills. And there's flashing the silverware, the bronzeware, I should say. There is the award. I'm glad that finally was able to do it. And we will try to retain and win it again whenever it is. If it's going to be next year, we'll definitely go all out. I've been taking this very serious. Special thanks goes to Mike Staten, Kenny Graham, Dominic jumping on board the Vito Conenna show in December. What about Mike Mazzone, Brian Laypower, Guy Cormier, even Jamie, he filled in as a director for one show. So I definitely have to give credit where credit is due, and all my fans out there that voted who were taking this very seriously as I did. So very happy about this, and hopefully it leads to something big. I've been an intern for ABC Radio, ESPN Radio. Not giving up on my dream, definitely want to make it mainstream, so I will continue pushing for that. We got 12 minutes left on the show. Spring has sprung, weather's starting to turn around, a lot to look forward to. Tax season coming to a close April 15th, so get your taxes in because you're running out of time. If not, you have to file for the extension. Mike Staten saying, let's go to break. There's 11 minutes left, so we'll take a short break.
Every day, thousands of kids start vaping. And I can't let this happen to my kid. Of course, it's awkward to talk to your kids about the dangers of vaping. Hey, bestie, how's sketches, ready? It's hard to get their attention. Ready? Go. Yes, look at that. You didn't turn yours over. So if you want to talk to your kids about the dangers of vaping, you have to get it trending. Right, Backpack Kid?
Let's do it.
First, invite your kid to do the vape talk. Let's try this. All right.
Why is he here?
Yeah, I gotta get it trending, honey.
Come on.
To the left. To the right. Let's go.
Oh, honey, can we talk?
Yeah, what's up?
I see a lot of your friends vaping.
Visit talkaboutvaping.org for tips on when and how to have the vape talk.
I don't know why you're so sad. You've got a roof over your head.
You gotta stop with that depression stuff. That's what white people think. You alright?
It just feels like it's coming from everywhere.
Do you want to talk about it?
You can talk to me if you're feeling sad.
Whenever you need to talk, I'm here, okay?
And we're back from break. Let's talk about MLS. Atlanta United, 10 points, leading in the standings. New England, 9 points. Cincinnati, Cincy, 8 points. Nashville, 7. NYCFC, past MLS champion, 7 points. Philadelphia, 6. We got Toronto with 5. We got the Red Bulls sitting with 5 as well. Let's talk about the New York Knicks. Are in 5th place, so they're doing a lot better than what they have in the past. 42 and 31. Nets are right behind them in 6th at 39 and 32. The big three, the former big three players of the Nets, those 3 superstars, let's see how they're doing. Well, Durant sitting in 4th place with the Suns. The Mavericks, Kyrie Irving, 7th place. And then you got Philadelphia 76ers, James Harden, 3rd place. So that's interesting to see. And then the New York Rangers sitting in 3rd place in the Metropolitan Division. Want to speak about possibly visiting Italy. It's been 20 years for me, and there is a family member from my mom's side looking to get married. And actually, her cousin has a restaurant where they filmed The Passion of Christ, and Mel Gibson was there visiting the restaurant every day, which was pretty cool, and they were given food on the set. So I just got word that Silvio Berlusconi, the fifth most powerful, richest person in the world, is going to be at the wedding. So once-in-a-lifetime opportunity, looking forward to it. Matera is one of the world's cultural capitals of the world for religion, for cuisine and culture, so it would be a great experience. We shall see. If that takes place in the end of July, I probably won't have a show, or I'll do the show in advance before I leave. So Dominic, speaking about him, he's going to be going to Europe if everything goes well. He'll be leaving in June actually, for 105 days. So probably jump on with Mike Mazzone, but I've gotten a rumor that Uncle Paul wants to get on the show, so that would be nice to have him on. So we got a lot of plans for the Vito Conenna Sports Show, a lot of stuff in the works. We wind down as we get to 7 minutes, and I'm not sure what everybody's plans are for spring break, but I've just been very busy. Don't have the time to go anywhere. What else can we say? Just keeping myself in shape at Orange Theory. Sports is just, it's in my DNA. I have to stay active, so definitely doing my part with that. Maybe we'll have Mike Staten as a guest. Who knows? He'll have to do two things at once: direct and then as a guest. We'll see how that goes. I wanted to bring up with the Italian baseball team. Mike Piazza was coaching them, which was interesting. And Mike Harvey, a lot of people mention Mike Harvey. It's not an Italian name, but on his mom's side, there is Italian descent, so that's why they were able to be on the team. I remember there was a player from Staten Island in the past, Frank Manichino. He probably could have elected to play for Italy or the United States if he was still playing. But it looks like the Italian baseball team is improving as other sports have improved in Italy. It's not just soccer. I mean, it looks like the basketball program has made big strides forward. Volleyball is getting big there. Tennis as well. They've had a guy win in tennis. They had somebody win in golf. So it's nice to see where my roots are, that they're making tremendous progress when it comes to sports. There's no doubt about that. I know water polo is a big sport for them. And, we'll talk about pretty soon in the future shows the Gold Cup, which is coming up in June. So we're definitely that's going to be a big show. That's going to be a big competition, and we're going to definitely probably dedicate the next show. We'll do a preview show on it, and then when we have the show in June, we'll talk about what's going on. So that should be pretty interesting. Not as busy this summer in soccer as it was last summer, but there's always going to be competitions. I wouldn't be surprised if we have the International Champions Cup. There'll be teams from Europe, as always, coming down here to play games locally in Red Bull Arena, usually in Dallas, all across the country for that tournament. And then we got some youth tournaments coming up. The FIFA World Cup Under-20 is coming up. The Women's World Cup is coming up in the summer. So those are going to highlight the big events. And then, obviously, before you know it, the Euro qualification tournament will be wrapped up as we're going to begin the tournament the end of this week. So it never ends. There's always constant soccer tournaments going on. I would love for them to bring back the Confederations Cup. That was one of my favorite tournaments. Hopefully they will bring that back again, because that was a very interesting tournament that I always looked forward to, right? It was like a tease before the World Cup a year before. So hopefully they will definitely find a way to bring that tournament back. And then back to Italy, where before you know it, they'll be hosting the Olympics in 3 years. The Winter Games again, as they did in 2006. So that's going to be a pretty interesting thing coming up with them. And there'll be some more stuff coming. I'm sure we got the announcement for the World Cup. Who will be the World Cup host in 2030? That announcement is coming in 2024. So that'll be next year, sometime in the fall. They'll come up with that decision. And And then when I mentioned earlier in the show about Argentina playing this game against Indonesia and Bangladesh, they're trying to promote the sport, trying to reach every part of the globe. That's what these friendlies are going to promote. They're trying to really get the popularity to span everywhere because, they want to continue to grow the sport as they have. We got over 300 nations playing, but it's the fastest growing. The pace is just incredible. So that's what the mission is there when it comes down to it. Hopefully the Italian program we'll be super impressed by them with these 2 games coming up. As far as I'm concerned, they have to beat England, start off the tournament very good, and there should be no excuses not beating Malta, who's one of the worst ranked teams in the world. So 2 games to start off this campaign. We'll see what happens there. And then June 15th on my name day, St. Vito's Day, Italy faces Spain in a crucial semifinal Nations Cup. And with obviously the winner going to the final. So let's hope that Italy could get back on the map when it comes to soccer and win that tournament. That will be hosted in the Netherlands. We got Netherlands, Croatia, Italy, and Spain trying to win that Nations Cup. It was first won by Portugal. France took the last tournament, and this 3rd edition, hopefully it's Italy to come up on top, which would be a nice thing to get back on track, get noticed again when it comes to soccer, because it's been very disappointing that the last 2 World Cup campaigns, they have not made it, so they have to change the culture of that. And their coach, Mancini, is currently under contract until June 2026. Should they qualify for the next World Cup, his contract will probably end after that World Cup tournament. So we'll see what they have in store for the next 3 years when it comes down to that. And obviously, they have to get the youth players involved if they are going to make a comeback when it comes to soccer, like the glory days for Italy. So, they need to keep the players in Italy. They need the youth players to start. They need to play as much as they can, and that's the only way they're going to improve. They have to play together and keep them in the Serie A, their domestic league. It's just really no magic pill. With past World Cup champions, the teams that have won have been predominantly in their own domestic league. That's how they've been able to win the title. So that's what is very important. That it might be very politically involved, but if they're going to really straighten things out, they have to go back to the basics when it comes to soccer in Italy. And we are approaching 30 seconds. Dominic did not call us, but we'll try to have him back next show in April. Sometime middle of April, we'll figure out a schedule for that. Always a pleasure hosting the Vito Conenna Sports Show. And before you know it, we'll be here again next month, more than likely with the tax season coming to a close April 15th. Probably do the show right after. I want to thank Mike Staten, Terry for giving us a hand earlier. And that does it.